Hi, dear audience. This is Frank Duran Rosillo, and this is your show, Nightline Talks. It is a little bit of everything behind the news. Today, I am very surprised how the former mayor of New York, Mike Bloomberg, turns the debate into a political auction to bid for the presidency of the United States. It really seems like with the money is dancing the dog. Why? Because Mr. Perez, the leader of the Democratic Party, let Bloomberg influence the party to have his first appear in a political debate just weeks before the Super Tuesday. That's a shame. That debate was manipulated, and it is really a strategical plan to take off again Bernie Sanders, because Bernie Sanders is the real candidate with a huge amount of followers everywhere in America, majority young adults and adults. But what is happening if Mike Bloomberg buy the candidacy to run by the Democratic Party for the presidency? Keep in mind, Mike Bloomberg was Republican. He was also independent candidate. He is always involved in politics. He was basically considered as a kingmaker on the politics of the United States. So he contributes money, and sometimes he don't like to appear on the picture, but he manipulates the situation. What is very risky, because imagine that two millionaires racing for the presidency of the United States. It is going to be a money fight because media love it, because they keep in mind that media rates for political advertisement or political propaganda is the triple. If you advertise food, if you advertise toothpaste or whatever, you pay one fee. But when you advertise political propaganda, media charge you the triple of the cost. And political time for elections is the wonderful business for media in the United States of America. And you just need to turn on your TV or your radio, any channel, there is plenty of ads of Mike Bloomberg. What this means, he is another New Yorker who is going to contend. If Bernie Sanders give up again, what I really consider, it is not the time for Mike Bloomberg, honestly. He can have the money, but he doesn't have the credentials and the skills to run for the presidency. My respect for him as a businessman, as a mayor. But Bernie Sanders, I'm not Democratic fan, but Bernie Sanders have more skills, have more attributes on his rhetoric for content against Donald Trump. But Bernie Sanders, considered a socialist, is not welcome by some elites on the Democratic Party. Remember, in 2016, Hillary Clinton pushed out Bernie Sanders and take off his money, and she raised. And the shame is that the Democratic Party is manipulated by the Clinton and Obama machineries. Yes, Democratic Party is moved according their decisions. Hillary Clinton is still very influential. in the Democratic Party, as well the former President Barack Obama. So, what we can expect from the Super Tuesday? No big news, just the advantage of that bidding on this auction for Michael Bloomberg. And I'll be no surprise if some candidates like Amy Klobuchar resign on this contingency, because there is no way Pete and Amy discussing trivial points in a national broadcast of this debate. Come on. Joe Biden tried to come back on track, accusing Mike Bloomberg of trying to be a Democrat with a mentality or principles of a Republican. Who really surprised the audience was Elizabeth Warren, who really tried to fight. They attack each other, but audience don't see the reality of the politics. The current politics are more deep than the words they discussed last night. And what is really going on is that everyone agreed to beat Donald Trump. Everybody promised an immigration plan. Everybody promised support a health care. But nobody says in a real platform. They say, open BernieSanders.com, open my website, MikeBloomberg.com, open my website, Pete, and whatever. But when you open every single website, the first tab you see is, welcome, make a contribution. You can contribute with $20, $25, $50, $100, whatever. Come on, they don't care. They just like money. Why? Because the money is moving this election. It's not a rhetoric or an important, well-developed plan to solve the current problems of this wonderful country. And keep eye, this election is not for the middle class, is not for the poor people. This election is going to be a fight between the rich class of the United States of America. This election is going to be the shame of the United States for the world, because the United States always give a lesson of democracy to everyone. And right now, it's not that way. It's not evident that the country of the opportunities, the country of the American dream, is opening the gates of the democracy to everyone. Why? It's evident. The candidates discussed and they were more worried about the super delegates, and they never mentioned the popular vote. Why? Because the popular vote is not important for them. This means what the regular people like you and me, when we cast our vote, they don't care. And you know how that works? The super delegates and the delegates are people that are part of the party, and they really has the last word. Who is going to be the real candidate for the Democratic Party to fight or to race against Donald Trump in few weeks? And I don't see a big expectation from the people. And people don't think with their brain. They think with their wallet. And right now, there are jobs, there are income, people meet their needs, basic needs, but they don't care what the government plan is. So, thank you for listening. See you tomorrow. Have a good night.